Poems to Mulgrave and Scroope by John Wilmot. Deare Friend. I heare this town is so abound with sawcy censurers, that faults are found with what of late we, in Poetique Rage, bestowing, threw away on the dull age. But, howsoe're envy, their spleen may raise, to rob my brow of the deserved bays. Their thanks at least I merit, since through me, they are partakers of your poetry. And this is all, I'll say in my defense, t'obtain one line of your well-worded sense I'd be content to have writ the Brittish Prince. I'm none of those who think themselves inspir'd, nor write with the vain hopes to be admir'd. But from a rule, I have upon long tryall, to void with care, all sort of self-denial. Which way soe're desire and fancy lead, contemning fame, that path I boldly tread, and if exposing what I take for wit, to my dear self, a pleasure I beget, no a matter though the censuring critique fret. Those whom my muse displeases, are at strife with equal spleen, against my course of life, the least delight of which, I'd not forego, for all the flattering praise, man can bestow. If I designed to please the way were, then, to mend my manners, rather than my pen. The first's unnatural, therefore unfit, and for the second, I despair of it, since grace, is not so hard to get as wit. Perhaps ill verses, ought to be confined, in mere good breeding, like unsavory wind. Were reading forked, I should be apt to think men might no a more write scurvily, than stink. But 'tis your choice, whether you'll read, or no a. If likewise of your smelling it were so, I'd fart just as I write, for my own ease. Nor should you be concerned, unless you please. I'll own, that you write better than I do, but I have as much need to write, as you. What though the excrement of my dull brain, runs in a harsh, insipid strain, whilst your rich head, eases itself of wit? Must none, but civet cats, have leave to shit? In all I write, should sense, and wit, and rhyme fail me at once, yet something so sublime, shall stamp my poem, that the world may see, it could have been product, by none but me. And that's my end, for man, can wish no a more, than so to write, as none e'er writ before. Yet why am I no a poet, of the times? I have allusions, similes and rhymes, and wit, or else 'tis hard that I alone, of the whole race of mankind, should have none. Unequally, the partial hand of heaven, has all but this one only blessing given. The world appears like a great family, whose lord oppressed with pride, and poverty, that to a few, great plenty he may show, is fain to starve the numerous train below. Just so seems providence. As poor and vain, keeping more creatures than it can maintain. Here 'tis profuse, and there it meanly saves, and for one prince, it makes 10,000 slaves. In wit alone, it has been magnificent, of which, so just a share, to each is sent that the most avaricious are content. For none are thought, the due divisions such, his own too little, or his friends too much. Yet most men show, or find great want of wit, writing themselves, or judging what is writ. But I, who am of sprightly vigor full look on mankind, as envious, and dull. Born to myself I like alone, and must conclude my judgment good, or none. For should my sense be not, how could I know, whether another man's, were good, or no a? Thus, I resolve of my own poetry, that 'tis the best, and there's a fame for me. If then I'm happy, what does it advance, whether to merit due, or arrogance? Oh, but the world will take offense thereby, why then the world, shall suffer for't, not I did this saucy world, and I agree? To let it have its beastly will on me? Why should my prostituted sense, be drawn, to every rule, their musty custom spawn? But men, will censure you. 'Tis 2 to 1 whene'er they censure, they'll be in the wrong. There's not a thing on earth, that I can name so foolish, and so false, as common fame. It calls the courtier knave, the plain man rude, haughty the grave, and the delightful lewd. Impertinent the brisk, morose the sad, mean the familiar, the reserved one mad. Poor, helpless woman, is not favored more, she's a sly hypocrite, or publique whore. Then who the devil, would give this, to be free from innocent reproach of infamy? These things considered, make me, in despite of idle rumor, keep at home, and write.